One thing I cannot stand is when someone feels like they have elevated and the people that they walk around in the same skin with every day that they cannot escape are now beneath them because they done made it. They got a few friends in the right places. You understand what I'm saying? I know y'all know somebody like that. And see, we're going to talk about D.L. Hughley and this Brandon Tatum, aka Officer Tatum. I'm like, DL, I didn't know who he was until he got in this little riffraff thing with DL, and DL had to break him down all the way down to the nitty gritty ground. You understand? When you are a person that forgets who you are, who the man in the mirror is, I have a problem with you. In the point where you can pick a side. You can pick a side for political. You can pick a side where you want to stay. You can pick a side where you want your kids to go to school. You can pick a side of your friends. Whatever. You can pick a side on all the things in your life that you want, that you feel like makes you feel whole. I'm saying you can't, but you should not do is when you look in the mirror and you forget that you popped out of the womb of a black woman or any other race. Because guess what? That is who you are. And I don't care how successful you get, that is who everyone is going to see you as. Okay? You can put a dime in it. You can be a black doctor. You can be a chief in the military. You could be a surgeon. You could be a therapist. You can be a blue collar worker. You could be barely making it. That's who you are. That's who people identify you with. So whether you think that you're in a class by yourself, boo, forget it. It ain't happening. It ain't real. So we're going to get into the DL Hughley and this little Brandon Tatum situation because, child, sometimes people need a reality check, okay? Everything we talk about on Running Recaps is strictly entertainment purposes. That is it. That is all. Strictly alleged. So let's get into this show. I have been following the Nolan Wells case. And the Nolan Wells case, rest in peace, has been bringing out a whole lot of deep down rooted separation, right? And it's so unfortunate because they have people of all races who are picking a side. Nolan's friends are guilty, innocent, or you just don't have enough information. For the people who have taken the position that, hey, I don't know what's going on because guess what? The DA, none of them are releasing any information with regards to the autopsy. Nothing concrete, no facts. Everything we've been hearing has been pure speculation. You got the sense. That's me. You have people that feel one way but have no idea on what's really happening because the DA not releasing any concrete information. So we don't know what position to take. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for Brandon Tatum, aka Officer Tatum, to take the position like he knows what's going on, it's insane. It just behooves me to like dig deep inside to find out who this man really is. And when I did, I realized he just picked a side. He don't know anything either. You can't just get someone's opinion and say that's the truth. If you was a people speculated to be involved in it, what you think you gonna say? You gonna say I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it. So because I tell you something and show you a couple things, now you automatically know. We don't want to hear anything from them. We want to hear from the sheriff. We want to hear from the DA. We want to hear some facts of what has been collected. But this little Brandon dude don't know how to do that. He want to act as if because he went over there on a boat and they showed and explained things to him that they did that they're innocent. They were just friends. It's a bunch of crap. So he needs to shut up. So let's listen to this video and we're going to stop and talk about it as we go, okay? Oh, and by the way, this is a record from Officer Tatum podcast.
All right, let's get to D.L. Hughley. Look at this sorry, big forehead. Need some oil on that freaking canvas he got on top of his head. He need to take his sunglasses off, but he need to have his sunglasses on so he can look at his teleprompter so he can talk trash to me.
He gonna have some points where he's reading too from the teleprompter. People who are on TV do that. A lot of people do that. So does Officer Tatum. Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon Tatum. A lot of the things that you're referencing, you're trying to say he's not. Be careful with the terms you're using. Kind of saying some things that are in his favor.
Allegedly worth $10 million, but he's still crying about the white man every day. and he crying about the white man, yet he worked for white men companies.
You too.
The one he worked for now is the CEO. I think it's run by black people, but there's also white people in C-suite positions
Most
in that
companies.
company. It's not an all-black company.
Who cares?
Black, blackly black. He's so black that he don't even care about black women enough to not cheat on his wife. He posted a picture of my wife.
So you keep talking about him posting a picture of your wife, and what? Is that the only picture on the internet of your wife? Who cares? Your wife. Who cares?
At least I ain't cheating on my wife. Know? He cheated on his wife, got an outside baby. A very unfortunate situation happened with his outside baby.
I'm sure you care.
And he want to come at me when he wasn't even there to protect his children. Brother, why you talking about me? I'm finna play the clip for y'all. Why you talking about me? You need to be worried about your own household. And let's put that in position, or put that in perspective. Mm-hmm. All the drama I just mentioned with his inner family ain't not one of the suspects in that situation white.
What are you saying?
A white man didn't cheat on your wife. A white man didn't abuse your daughter. A white boy, I'd say. And a white man didn't take the life of your infant child.
You hear him? All he talk about trying to stay on the whole black men do this negative, black men do that negative. He just don't have a mirror in his house, y'all. Does he have a mirror? Because he is one ignorant human being.
You were married. These are all black people doing this.
All black people doing this.
And yet you cry about white people every day of the week. Listen to what this fool said about me, and I'm gonna critique it as we go.
Me too.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore.
Pause.
You were a football.
It's called a moniker. People consider me as Officer Tatum because I became famous as Officer Tatum. And D.L. Hughley, that's your stage name. You still going by.
No one considers you an officer. That's not even the same. You're on the internet. That's your personality. They call you that. There's a difference of being called that. Okay? Like they call black folks a whole lot of names. It's not what people call you. It's what you answer to. You couldn't go out there and say you're an officer right now. You're not an officer. It's what people call you. You're right. It's your stage name. I get it. Do you?
Stage name, Negro, you ain't even a comedian no more, passing out on stage and stuff. You ain't even funny no more. But you going by D.L. Hughley. So people want to consider to call me the Officer Tatum or Officer Tatum. I'm fine with that.
I know, because it gives you authority.
Roll the clip.
A player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. Talked about it.
He said, I didn't make the team, or I didn't make it to the NFL. Okay, I don't think that's anything somebody can be sad about. And I'm also glad I don't have CTE either, so it's not all bad. And D.L. Hughley, somebody told me you were 5'6" or something.
What you trying to say? You got a problem with short people?
You would never make it to. You won't even make it to college. You were in high school, little beta male.
Look at the definition of beta male. You might want to read up on that definition before you try to call your op a name that's giving them character, because that's really what you're doing. You're giving them character. You're trying to say that he's soft and he's weak, but that's when you're talking about fish. Officer Tatum. Get it together. He's a human. He's not a fish.
Became a cop. What did I do as a cop?
What did you do?
I protected black people with my life. D.L. Hughley is telling jokes.
Only black people.
You gotta sit your butt down.
Nobody else.
What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion.
Time out. Lies. First and foremost, I did cry when Charlie died, and I could have cut the feed off, and so nobody could ever see me cry. But it was an emotional thing. When your friend gets assassinated and his neck blows out, that's traumatic. That's why emotions came out.
First of all, Charlie Kirk. There are a lot of different opinions on Charlie Kirk. When it came to Black people, he was not nice to. Being a human being, you don't want to see anyone lose their life like that. That was sad and unfortunate for his children and his wife. I'm not going to take that back from anyone. The rhetoric that he was putting out was a bunch of trash when it came to African Americans. They consider it facts, but the facts are always misconstrued because a lot of them are one-sided. And who knows? In his mind, I'm sure he felt as if what he said had some great points, just like the Officer Tatums of the world. However, there's always more than one side to every story. But he didn't really have a soft spot when it came to how other people's children perceived things and felt. You talk to some people, they feel like it was a karma type situation. You know, he was not a nice guy to African American people. He was not. He was not. So anyone who believes he was is delusional. You cannot ignore that. You cannot act like he was out here, you know, even though he believed in some of the things that he was saying, he felt like he was, you know, what he was saying was justified. To the audience that it was intended for, it was not. It was mean and it was hateful. So I'm saying for his children and his wife and for him, it was a terrible situation because you don't want anyone to lose their life like that. I've said that before. He was someone's son, someone's father, someone's husband. But the people he was talking about were someone's children, someone's daughter, someone's husband. He was saying some ugly things, and it's unfortunate that it happened, but it doesn't ignore the fact that some of the things he said was not nice.
Okay, let him finish.
Talked up the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I Can't Read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
Race hustling had nothing to do with race. Al Sharpton has been around since the civil rights times, doing things that he does. He just show up with the Nolan Wells, rest in peace, Nolan Wells case. He's been out here before. Okay? Just don't get that twisted. And thank God we have somebody helping Black folks, because Lord knows where we will be if we had nobody. And I mean, if he made some money, he makes some money, because do you work for free? When you're on here with your 3.4 million subscribers, don't you get paid? So he can't just work for free. Ben Crump, he can't work for free. That's his career. He is a lawyer. And you want to be nasty and talk about the way he speaks. Guess what? He wins cases. He listens to the facts. And he's able to articulate them well enough to get it across to the jury. And I think it was a low blow. And instead of just not saying anything about the way he speaks, you do as a lot of other people have done. You want to jump on the bandwagon and be nasty. He didn't say nothing about you. So why you had to say something about him? You should have stayed focused on DL, the one who was telling you you got cut from the team.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report.
None.
You talked about Black people acting a fool.
Okay. Let's get to this. This fool say, I don't know the truth, but you are not a failed dude. I investigated crimes for a living. Okay, and I didn't say they were innocent or guilty.
You implied it.
I let them talk, and the evidence that they presented put them in a position where they weren't even there.
What evidence? What evidence? Hearsay, maybe? Hearsay from the people who people are suspecting was involved? What are you going to say if people think you were involved in something, huh? Officer / detective. Oh, retired. Oh, influencer, sorry. Tatum. What are you going to say? It's not evidence because you're getting information from people who people think are involved. Give me a break.
So what do you think they did? You think they're guilty just because they were his friends? They weren't there. They have video. They have Life 360. They got GPS coordinates. They showed us video of them leaving the island, getting towed out.
They also saw them coming back and forth. Did you see anything about that? Huh? They ain't just leave one time. Remember that? Officer / detective / now influencer Tatum. Remember that? They didn't just leave one time and part the boat. That was supposedly giving them problems.
Testimony from multiple people. They were not there. But you don't care about what happened to Nolan like I do. You just want the white boys to be wrong so it can feed your ego. Roll the clip.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of...
Pause. Roll that back, bro. What did that article say? Roll it back. Play it.
Buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old...
Pause. I can't read because the letters there. It says involved in a fatal shooting of 1-year-old was once accused of...
All right, Ben Crump, come on.
What did it say?
Come on, Ben Crump, get your glasses.
Exaggerating threat posed by a car.
Get your glasses, Ben.
What's the person up there that, what's
Ben
the
Jr.
name above his words? Does that say Miss... Does it say Mississippi cop or Mississippi man?
You need your glass? Huh? Ben Crump, number 2?
Okay. Let's play it.
Oh boy, and nobody's being brought to...
Oh, Mississippi officer. Yeah, you know the funny thing is, bro, and I probably remember this situation. There is no way in the world that the officer just killed a 1-year-old. But this how stupid these Negroes are.
Negroes.
Stupid enough to say they just walked and killed a 1-year-old. That's why y'all ain't never gonna be nothing, man. And I'm not talking about
You hear him, y'all? He used that word, y'all, like he ain't black. Y'all. Have y'all let this man know what he what does he see when he look in the mirror? Does he see the mirror show him a different reflection than I'm looking at on this screen? Because if I can see anything, he part of y'all. He part of us. He is, look, this is black as me. You talking about y'all.
every black person, because there's smart ones like me. I'm talking about you ignorant Negroes.
Oh, you smart.
They killed a black kid and the 1-year-old, nobody know about it. You go and look that up. It probably was an officer-involved situation. Matter of fact, look it up for me. 2 things I want y'all to look up for me. How many black people have been murdered by black people in Mississippi in the last 10 years?
First of all, the statistics are not going to be accurate because they don't report a lot of them, or they say that it's a suicide, or they'll say that it was not a homicide. So that, like I say, statistics are misconstrued based on the information that is supplied and submitted. So you're not going to get an accurate count on any of the statistics. Those numbers can be manipulated. You know that if you're so smart, as well as I know that. Statistics are only as good as where they compile it from.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is...
Time out. I saw video and testimony and GPS, and that y'all see all of these things are evidence that they were not there.
Testimony was certified.
How do you blame somebody for killing a person when they weren't there when the person died?
First of all, none of that information has been certified or anything. That's someone hearsay. Someone is giving you information they're claiming, giving it to you. You don't know for sure. You weren't there to see it with your own eyes. You're getting information from someone else. It's not certified information. Was the information certified through the courts? Or this is just them talking to you, telling you what they think and what version they want you to put out there to your 3.4 million people or whatever. Come on, dude.
Nobody's saying nobody guilty, innocent. I don't know what happened.
You implied it.
Y'all colored Neanderthals are mad at me.
You talk about a man who has forgotten that his ashes is black. Is this dude? He is crazy. He think he done made it, y'all.
Because I interviewed somebody, and I tried to interview black folks, but they don't want to talk to me. But then I interviewed Tristan, the young black boy, and y'all don't even count him. I guess he's not black enough for y'all. Oh, okay, he don't count. Oh, y'all don't want to count him. Okay, because he ain't the right black. He got to be a black man being stupid. All right, let's look at some stats real quick, because DL, Stewhead, Hughley, and these other dumb, ignorant Negroes, low vibration Negroes. This is what it says. And what time period is this? 2015 to 2024, about a 10-year period. 3,000 to 3,500 black Mississippians were killed by black offenders. This mother said 3 scenarios.
So let's hear how many blacks were killed by another race. You only came with the information that was out there because they're not listening. So you mean to tell me there's a zero statistic on how many blacks were killed by whites? One side is stupid. That's why Nancy Grace ate you up and spit you out.
Yeah, see, historical injustice. But yet, black people kill way more black people than in this injustice y'all talking about. You can't even give me 5 stories in the last 10 years. And we got 3,500 black people that have been killed by other black people. So if you want to play the historical injustice math, it's fair to believe that a black man that's killed could be killed by another black man. How you know the black kids that were out there with Nolan had nothing to do with it? Statistically, historically, it's more likely that he'll be killed by a black person. Ignorant, y'all Negroes, ignorant.
That's like ignorant.
I'm tired of being nice to y'all. I hope I don't get in trouble with certain people.
Influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you, and they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable black man who they know they can count on to be obedient. They pick you for the same reason they pick dogs. What is very interesting to me is this is Nancy Grace.
I love to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own, and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks that's something suspicious.
Pause. You ignorant Negro, Neanderthal. Neanderthal.
You sound stupid.
You have no idea that I was on Nancy Grace's show today.
I did, because I listened to the whole entire show.
Going over this very topic. And won't you tune in and see what Nancy Grace had to say about what I said?
I want y'all to listen to this, because I listened to the interview and I got a couple snippets I want y'all to listen to. Let's hear it.
Officer Tatum, are you telling me that they had reception on Horn Island? Because many people are saying, well, the reason that there's nothing on Nolan's phone, like there's no pictures, there's no snaps, there's no text, there's no anything, not because it was deleted, but because he didn't have reception. But you're telling me the other boys did have snaps, photos, videos, and reception?
Yeah, no, Nancy, let me clarify this for you. It wasn't that they uploaded this online. They showed me videos and things that they took from the boat during the outing on 4th of July. I was personally out at Horn Island. I rode out there on a boat, and I didn't have great reception there. And I left my phone in the boat when I got into the water, and we were actually going out to do interviews.
Objection. You've been in court long enough to know you're gonna get objections. You said you didn't have great reception, but you did have reception, did you not?
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great, and it wasn't great enough for people, in my opinion, to upload. You can make a phone call potentially, but you wasn't gonna upload data to a social media account. When I listened to the CETO call, you could tell that the call dropped out several times. It seemed like they were having trouble at times hearing each other. So it is consistent. And anybody that travel out there that have gone to the 4th of July celebration, they know that the reception is not very great. So the videos that they showed me in call logs were things that were not associated to social media. It was, pictures and videos that they took on their phone.
Does that sound like someone that agreed with what he said? No, she was looking at him crazy when he came in the door and looking at him even more crazy when he left out. He was tossed out on his head like he should have walked in. He should have walked in on his head to save face. Nancy did not believe him. She knew that he was being biased, and she just could not understand why. And that's why I like Nancy, because even though she's not black, she stands in the middle, and she goes for what's right, not based on color, but based on belief, real evidence, based on what she's heard, and she's not biased. Right is right and wrong is wrong, unlike the guy with the identity crisis right here.
And this is Nancy Grace saying things without context and evidence. She said, she actually said, Nancy Grace said she hope I'm right.
Lies. She did say that. She said that in a backhanded way. She was saying that, yeah, she hopes he's right, because who wants a group of young boys to have to go to jail for a long time, which if they are involved is what's going to happen. No one wants that. No, I wish this day never happened for these children. But she also wants the truth to be known, and everything that Brandon is stating makes no sense. It doesn't come together like a puzzle. Okay? So she said she hopes that he's right because he was so staunch standing on what he was stating, and she found and punched a million holes in his story. So that's what she meant, but a backhanded honest, because something in the water, Mississippi, just is not clean. Another reason why I do not care for the stand that Brandon, aka Officer Tatum, takes is because, do you all remember back in 2024 when a lady, 36-year-old black lady by the name of Sonya Massey, called the police out because she thought she heard a prowler in her yard? Well, the second call, the officer came out with Sean Grayson. He was a very tall, statured white cop, and he came out and he was familiar with Sonya. He was, and he knew that she had issues. So she was having a medical emergency that night. Let me let you see this.
I have to say, I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
Body cam footage in the Sonya Massey case, which shows the Illinois mother interacting with police just hours before he shot in her home. Trevor Aldis here with the story. Good morning, Trevor.
Good morning, George. So we've, of course, seen that disturbing body camera footage where she was shot to death in her own kitchen by a now former police officer. But this is new footage from the day before in which her mother called 911 saying Sonya was having a mental health episode. And even then, her mother begged them not to hurt her daughter.
How you doing, ma'am? What's your name?
This morning, newly released footage showing Sonya Massey 16 hours before she was fatally shot on July 6th at her home outside Springfield, Illinois.
I don't know what to do.
In this new body cam video obtained by our ABC affiliate WICS, Massey's seen interacting with police, explaining she was worried about her children.
I don't know where they at. I think they are around me.
No, they're at their dad's house. They're worried about you too. Everybody just wants you to be okay. That's all it is.
Over the course of the roughly 45-minute video, Massey is sitting in her car, upset over her family, as well as the lights and water being turned off at her home.
When I got home, I ain't got no hot water, I ain't got no lights, I had to throw away all the food.
You calling today to get that fixed, you said?
They got my phone.
At one point, she confirmed she'd been taking her medicine when asked about it by officers.
When's the last time you took your medicine? It's written down last night.
On July 5th, Massey's mother, Donna, called 911, saying Sonya was having a mental health episode. Her mother pleading with the operator not to hurt her daughter.
She's been mentally having a mental breakdown. She thinks everybody's after her.
Hours later, at 12:49 a.m. on July 6th, Sonya called 911 herself to report a disturbance.
It sounds like somebody was banging on the side of my house. I don't know. Could y'all come and see?
30-year-old Sean Grayson and his partner responded to the call. The situation quickly escalating when Sonya asked to take a boiling pot of water off the stove.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot. Drop the pot. Drop the 19 shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
The body cam footage shows Grayson shooting Massey, something he has not denied. Grayson is now charged with murder. He's being held without bond and has pleaded not guilty.
And Sean Grayson has since been fired. Records show he worked at 6 police departments in 4 years. He was also discharged from the Army for serious misconduct. He is now due in court October 21st.
But the social media influencer who failed at football and was a mediocre cop all of a sudden knows more than that? I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But I do know this. You said that a young woman with a pot of water acted so suspiciously that she should be shot by cops.
I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
That's who you are. Debate you for what? What you are is what the people before you. You're Diamond and Silk. You're Candace Owens. You're Stacey Dash. You're that. And your career will age like avocados. Because that's what they do. There'll be somebody else that replaces you. I've been around for 40 years doing what I do, and you still know my name. You know how I got to know yours? Somebody sent me a coon alert, and you fit the bill. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are. I know what you do because I've seen people like you in my entire life. You can assail my career, but my career is longer than your life. You mentioned my name, and I have no idea who you are. But I do know this, that one day, when all of this is done, and it'll be after the next election cycle, when people are wondering who you are, when you go the way of the Larry Elders, or the Sheriff Clarks, or the Candace Owens, or the Diamond and Silks, or the Stacey Dashes, or the Armstrong, like all of them, when you're there with them and you're wondering what happened, it's because you sold your soul for nothing.
Let me just say this, and I know people going to clip this and get back, and I don't care. I really feel this way. I'm getting sick of black people, right? I like the black people like me and others that are conservative, that's smart, but the rest of y'all, I'm sick of y'all. It's hard to even want to be around black people, to be honest.
I have never once, and I've had a disagreement with a lot of black people that I've had disagreement, but I've never once had to make a video explaining I don't hate black people.
I do not hate black people. I know that people who are new to my channel, and you see people out there making these videos, it's comical to me because I don't understand how accountability leads to hate.
You said you can't teach me, you can't make me hate white people. You said that.
You want me to hate white people. I'm not doing it.
My question isn't making you hate white people. I don't want that at all. What I want to know is, who taught you to hate us?
My point in this entire situation is you can pick a side. You can be on whatever side you want to be on. In this Nolan Wells case, any other case. But right is right and wrong is wrong. The way that the county is handling this autopsy, I don't feel is the correct protocol and the standard protocol. You mean to tell me if Nolan's mother had not done an independent autopsy, she would have not known what had happened to her child that was completely healthy, other than there is no foul play by the sheriff, that statement, there's no foul play suspected? You mean she wouldn't have any concrete evidence had she not had the independent autopsy done? That is insane. Even though he wasn't a detective, he had to investigate stuff, right? And we know how one-sided that could be sometime when it comes to officers. So no one is sticking a pin in anything. He was the type of officer on the street as he is as an influencer in the chair. They need to investigate his arrest because for the simple fact, I believe he was probably biased in some of those too. And that is my opinion, not facts, just my opinion. Because if he had that strong feeling with some of the comments that he's stating, being on the street definitely was not a thing for him, because he's one of those cops when you see a black person pull you over, you be like, yes, at least somebody here have my back. And then they get up to you and talk, and you be like, man, give me a white cop. I take him any day. Because this one right here, he with the okie doke. He's not trying to be fair. All this trying to act like he's so educated and knowledgeable, he's not. He's being biased. And even though all of us wish that this never had happened, because no one wants to see children go to jail, we more don't want this mother to have to wonder what happened to her son for the rest of her life. And also this young boy losing his life last month. This time he was alive. Now it's a whole nother month. He's resting in his forever grave. That's crazy. That's something we don't want. And for all those things to be put out there, all this stuff insinuating he was drinking and all that stuff, how do anyone know? There's no toxicology report. So you mean to tell me he was drinking so much that he was going to swim back to shore? Get out of here. It hasn't come out, but it's coming out because they wouldn't be as secretive as they are if it wasn't more to this story. So anyway, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate you, okay? All right, y'all. Bye.